What up, family?
What's up, brother?
Welcome back, man. Part 2, bro. Good to see you.
Yes, sir.
What's up,
Yes,
Doc?
sir.
Good. Respect.
Yeah.
Sir, all love, brother.
Hey, look, let me left you hanging.
Yeah. No,
Hey, you always
us
talk about
light skins, we already in the realm of
See?
light skin.
Thing is, you was interrupting his practice run.
What's that?
why
Yeah.
I'm trying to get up
you
there.
on out the way.
Yeah, I went up there. He said, "Nah, you can't do this."
Wait, was that you that took a fall right here?
Yeah.
Oh, how you
You
feeling?
told me
Look
I
at his
can't
back,
come down
look.
that ramp. I said, "You're 100% correct."
Look at his
feeling?
back. He's stiff.
Man, I'm stiff as hell, man. I don't know how y'all do that.
I mean, you were in the danger zone with all those rails and stuff, so you're lucky you got out all right.
I appreciate it.
Hold up, limitless, niggas stomach got pinning it. I fought the here to witness it. Got my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling got me up. On the mission got me up. Knowing me, I got the key. Only vision I can trust. Limitless, niggas stomach got pinning it. I fought the here to witness it. Got my people feeling militant.
Nyjah Huston, man, welcome to the show again. This is Channing Crowder, Fred Taylor, and Ryan Clark, Pivot fam. Thank you for pivoting with us. Bro, like, since we spoke to you, you become an Olympic medalist. And you finally get over there, man, you get that medal. What was that experience like for you, especially with somebody like Jagger as well, and you two guys being able to feed off of each other?
Yeah, the Olympics was sick, man. It was nice to go out there and get a little bit of little taste of redemption from the first time around in Tokyo. And this time, I mean, I feel like it being in Paris, I knew it was going to be special out there. The venue was super sick, and I mean, man, whenever there's a contest that big, everyone's going to be putting down some gnarly tricks, and that's exactly what happened. Like, I landed one of the best runs I've probably ever landed in a contest, and then I think I was leading going into the finals, and then landed a couple tricks in the finals, wasn't able to put down my last main trick I was trying to land, and then Jagger landed an insane trick that I don't even know if he ever landed that trick before.
Right.
And then it was just, the contest was all over the place because I was like, oh shit, like I'm in a good spot to win this, but I gotta land this last trick. And then I was like, oh shit, maybe Jagger's gonna win this. And then Yuto came in with that Japanese clutch mentality and made it happen. But no matter the outcome, I'm stoked to get a medal out there and stoked to represent my country and land some tricks out there.
That's awesome, man.
Hey, bro, your stars continue to rise. We talked to you a couple years ago, and now if you look up pro skating, it's you and Tony Hawk as the names that come up first.
Oh yeah?
That's what it is. If you Google it, it's you and Tony Hawk come up.
Yeah.
There has to be some pressure that you're holding down the whole sport, and you're really the only one still doing it at a high level, because Tony, what, 58 somewhere?
Yeah.
Like, to hold down the whole sport, be the name of a whole sport.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, the pressure is always felt out there, even just within myself, because I've always been competitive, you know? It's almost 20 years now that I've been skating pro contests. Actually, this might be the 20th year, because I'm 30. I skated my first X Games when I was 11.
Yep.
So at this point, I try my hardest to tell myself, like, all right, like, have a little more fun out there. Don't, you know, have high expectations and stuff. But when it comes down to it, when the contest starts, you guys know how it is. You get into that competitive mentality and do everything you can to make it happen. But at this point, it's really just longevity that I'm like most worried about. And I think that's something that's really sick that Tony's done.
Yeah.
Is like being at an older age and like still skating actually, and like pushing himself to like do tricks and posting about it and showing people that like it's not always about winning the contest and doing the hardest tricks out there, but just like having fun on your board and skating for as long as possible.
Well, you're a 15-time gold medalist in the X Games, right? Then you go over to Tokyo, you play 7, you got that out the way. You came back and medal bronze in Paris. Like, from a mindset standpoint, what's the biggest difference? Because skateboarding is a small community of you guys. Like, we were out here watching you practice earlier.
Yeah.
And everybody knows everybody, chopping up, having a good time. And I'm sure that some carryover to the Olympics.
Yeah.
So what's the biggest difference in competing on that stage versus this stage?
I mean, obviously the nerves. You know, you're not only skating to win or to get a podium or whatever, but you're skating for your country, and that's the part that like really puts on the nerves. But also, I think that's the part that gets you hyped out there. And it was sick because the men's contest in Olympics got pushed back 2 days because of rain in Paris, and then the day before, we got to watch all the women compete out there, and just sitting in the, like, I was in the stands sitting with all the boys from the USA team, and just watching the girls out there ripping and like watching the different sections of the crowd and the countries cheering for them, like that was something I've never really seen in skateboarding before. And it's definitely a special feeling. When it comes down to it, like skateboarding is very hit or miss with a lot of the tricks we're doing out there. It's like some days you're gonna feel better than others, mentally and physically. And sometimes you're gonna land that trick you really wanna land, sometimes you're not. It's like, it's too technical to even pinpoint what exactly went wrong. Sometimes you just gotta face the fact that, like, you know, sometimes you're gonna put it down, sometimes it's not gonna happen.
Being around some of the greatest athletes around the world, even American athletes, like the opening night, the opening ceremony, and just being in the Olympic Village, like, what was that feeling like?
Oh, it was sick. It was sick. Being out there with, I mean, all the best athletes from around the world is definitely something special, and it really helps you take in that that Olympic energy and bring it out on the course. But man, we're gonna try to make it out there for LA too. I gotta try,
get LA.
I gotta try my absolute best to make it to LA because that's basically hometown, home turf right there. I'm originally from Northern California, small town called Davis. Grew up skating in the Bay a lot. And then when I was 15, moved down to SoCal. But even before that, like I remember taking my first trip down to LA and skating all the famous spots that I watched in videos growing up when I was like 8, 9 years old. And like, just LA is like, it'll always be my favorite place to skate.
Being someone that burst onto the scene at the age of 11, and then you talk about longevity, you're 30 now, right? That's 2 decades in itself, and you're talking about continuing to skate. When I think of the Olympics and some of the athletes Fred was talking about, you know, there's Sloane Stephens and LeBron James as torchbearers, but there's Simone Biles and the greatest of all time. And now you as a skater, you're one of those athletes as well. How do you sort of quantify the way that this sport has grown since you started participating professionally?
It's definitely grown a lot, you know, especially with it being in the Olympics and whatnot. But I think the part that I'm most stoked on is like the core street skateboarding, you know, going out there and skating around the city and skating spots that aren't meant to be skated, getting kicked out by security guards, cops, all that stuff. Like, that is something that has never really changed. It's always been that way. You know, maybe nowadays, like, it's nice because sometimes I'll get kicked out of a spot and like cops will be like, oh, I saw you skate in the Olympics. So like, give me a few more tries, let me land my trick or whatever, so that's nice. But I honestly love that part about skateboarding so much, and that's something that I always try to talk about in interviews and educate people on, because there's so much more to skateboarding than just any contest or the Olympics or whatever. It's really, you know, just go out there and watch a true skate video and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Is that what's really at the heart of the sport? Because if you look at even a lot of you guys who skate professionally, your social clips aren't the X Games or they aren't the Olympics. It's guys trying tricks in public places or doing different things and showing videos of failures, of falls, of crashes. Is that truly what continues to push the sport forward, is the interest and sort of the grassroots of it?
Yeah, definitely. It's street skateboarding, and it's really just the lifestyle, and it plays into the factor of like it not being a normal sport. Like, yes, technically we're in the Olympics now, you can call it a sport if you want to, but we like to think of skateboarding as more like a way of life, because it's really going out there and just cruising around, skating random spots around the city with your homies and challenging yourself, you know? We're not skating some perfect rail on a course that's made for us to skate. We're skating like a handrail in front of some random business that you're probably gonna get kicked out of in a few tries.
Right.
When I say that like I care a lot about longevity and being able to skate for as long as possible, that's really what I mean, because obviously like contest skating, it's especially these days, bro, there's so many little kids that are like doing the craziest runs out there. I was just watching the last X Games in Osaka, and I was watching in my room at home, just like, I'm happy I missed out on this one, because some of the runs the kids did out there, and it had to have been the youngest finals ever. I think there was 6 people in the finals, and like 5 of them, I think it was like 15, 16, 16, 18, and maybe like 21. Like,
wow.
A lot of people don't realize how young of a sport skateboarding is. It's crazy.
Yeah, and we were just talking, we talked to our Willie,
Yeah,
he's a
sick.
different human.
Yeah.
But we were talking to him, and I asked him about like aging out and where like the young guys. He was like, I can still do it,
Yeah.
but I feel it more in my body.
Oh, for sure.
You
Fuck.
feel your body responding different to a
Yeah.
fall or or not completing a trick.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I used to be able to skate every single day when I was a kid. I would say up until like I was like a late teenager, I was out there practicing every damn day. And then now it's like it's out of the question. Like there's a couple days out of the week where I'll get some hard practice sessions, and then maybe a couple days where I'm out filming in the streets, and then the other days I gotta chill. Like I gotta chill. I mean, I just got done trying this trick in the Bay Area 2 weeks ago, and it was actually the most sore I've ever been in my whole life. Like my whole right side, you guys know how it is, like just stuck, like limping around, not even from an injury, just from being sore for like a whole week. And like, yeah.
If you was a running back, they'd be trying to push you out the game at 30.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you definitely start to feel it differently.
Yeah.
Bro, is in there your homeboys you skate with, you try something and they be like, bro, like take it easy on that one. That shit's silly.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. How often does that happen where they're like, bro, that's not possible?
I mean, I'm pretty strategic with picking my battles and choosing what tricks I do out in the contest or in the streets or whatever. But I mean, yeah, the homies are always looking out for each other. So sometimes if I see one of my boys is about to like try some trick that's dangerous but like not really worth it, I'm like, you don't need this one. We'll find a better spot for it.
Yeah, there's I don't know what it is. I'm trying to pinpoint it, but there's something different about you right now, bro. From the first time we sat down, and I know we were in a darkly lit restaurant.
Yeah.
Now we're in your arena.
Yeah.
Like you seem more enthusiastic, like more outgoing, happy, excited about something. Has something changed over the last couple years since we last sat down?
I would say if anything has changed, maybe some of that like pressure just being lifted off my shoulders of like feeling like I need to go out there and win or prove anything. You know, I try to be a lot more laid back and easy on myself nowadays, and really just more being thankful to still be out here after skating these contests for 20 years now, you know? It's really just being thankful.
You know, you mentioned not being so hard on yourself. We were out here for a lot of the practice. No one was more locked in than you were. Like there were guys coming over talking to us, like clowning, like dudes falling and laughing. Like I'd watch you try a trick, you get off the rail, you go wax the rail, or you tend to your skateboard, you get back up, you'd be focused. For you, what's kept that intensity on continuing to work on your craft so high for you after 20 years?
I think it's really just like wanting to stay good at skateboarding for as long as possible. Like even when I'm out here at practice, it's not only like practicing or running for the contest, it's like keeping your skills up, because those skills will leave you real fast.
Yeah.
Like you won't skate for a couple weeks, or you'll feel it. You'll be rolling up to the rail and you're like, oh shit, like do I got this? Like is the confidence there? And like
Right.
you really gotta stay on top of it. And it's good, man. It really makes me push yourself out there.
A cat came over, he was talking to us, he was trying to teach us how to skateboard. It didn't really work out
Oh,
well.
that's my boy, Damo.
Yeah,
that's my boy.
super cool. And you know, he was just talking about it, and he goes, you know, like Nyjah, like my dog, like he's a prodigy. And we don't have those in football. You know, like we have dudes who, you know, were really good, really early professionally, like rookie, second year, but we don't call cats prodigy.
Yeah.
Like you have that in jiu-jitsu and mixed martial arts. How much of that was a ton of pressure on you when you start so well, so successfully early, and people start to project or expect things from you, and then every time you show up, you feel like you got to go do that?
Yeah. I felt it a ton when I was a kid, honestly. A lot more than I do nowadays. And this goes all the way back to my dad being super hard on me when I was skating my first contest when I was like 6, 7 years old. And he did not want me to lose. Like losing was not an option. But then once you get into those like tougher like amateur contests and then pro contests, like you're not gonna go out there and win every time, especially as a little kid. And I had to fight so hard to get my first big win. I skated my first X Games when I was 11. I made it to the finals. I think I got like 6th. And then the few years after that, I got like so many second places, so many third places. And then when I was 15, it was the first ever street league contest in Arizona. And I finally got that big win. And I was like, man, all right, here we go.
Yeah.
Now it's going.
Yeah, bro, I was just watching some clips. I think this is recently. You jumped off a goddamn skyscraper or something. And it was a big event and everybody went crazy.
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
were saying you had to do something big to win that one. And then you come back and do that. Like that performance, is that where, like we're talking about being the greatness of it, is that where your greatness comes from? Where you're gonna press the limit every time?
Yeah. I think you're talking about the Miami Street League a few months ago. And man, that was a clutch win because that was like what you call like a buzzer beater basically right there, because it's like you gotta land that last trick if you want the win. And the homie Gustavo, who I was battling with, he landed like I was in first basically the whole contest. And then the last try, he landed like an insanely technical trick. And I was like, oh shit, like I really gotta throw something down right now. And that's a crazy feeling being in that moment, because it's like, it's just such a crazy mix of pressure and just like hype, you know?
Yeah.
I got my headphones on, I'm just throwing on some tunes and just getting as hyped as possible and trying to like block everything out. But when you roll away from a trick in that moment, that's a special feeling right there. It's like, it's hard to get that feeling anywhere else in life. And I think that's something that we're all pushing for, you know, to replicate and happen over and over.
You said, oh, I'm losing. I'm about to jump off the top of a library.
Oh, yep. Whatever
Bro,
it takes.
you was way the hell up there. I don't know how tall it was.
Whatever it takes, man. Whatever it takes. You got to go for it.
Nyjah, is there a clutch gene in skating and skateboarding? You know, like we always talk about Tom Brady, 2-minute drill, or Michael Jordan, last second buzzer beaters. Even when I was listening to you tell the story of the Olympics, she was like, man, I had a great run. And then, you know, Jagger had a great run. Like you talked about all these things. Is there such thing as a clutch gene in skateboarding where you have to pull out or be your greatest in the most important times late in those competitions?
Yeah, there definitely is. I mean, I feel like there's only been a few guys that have had some really clutch moments like that. And it's not easy, man. It's not easy to drop in for that last trick and like block out everything and not feel nervous. And it's all in our legs too. And like, you guys know, it's like when something's that technical, like happening in your legs get shaky at all, or they're nervous a little bit, and you're not landing shit. It's not happening. So I feel like it's really being able to stay calm in that moment and not overthink. That has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, you know, I know like even, and I don't know how it is for Fred as a running back, but I know me, Chan, playing defense, when you get to those 2-minute drills, bro, and the offense is coming to the line quickly and you trying to get the calls, your adrenaline is high, your breath is short. All of these things are starting to mount, but for you by yourself. Mm-hmm. We could get a sack and now I don't have to cover. A linebacker could make a play and bail me out. For you, it's like, man, I got to show up in this moment, in this time by myself. And I think that's what's amazing about your sport and what you've been able to do over such a long period of time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Between this year's X Games and in preparation for the 2028 Olympics in LA that you mentioned earlier, like what are you going to be doing in between that time?
For the next year or 2 years, I'm mainly focusing on street skateboarding, putting out as many good video parts as possible. Nike is actually working on a big video with like the majority of their main guys on SB. That's going to come out into next year. So I'll be going like full force for that, all in. I got a video dropping in a couple weeks on the Thrasher website for my brand, Disorder Skateboards. So that's the main focus. And then throughout those years too, there's going to be the first Olympic qualifier events. I'm going to skate my first one in a few months. It's in Washington. And then we got to start gathering up those points. It's crazy that they make it such a long qualifier series, you know? Like I know some sports you do one or two events and then that determines who makes it. But with skating, it's like a whole like few years with like a few events each year. And you kind of got to be consistent and like place good at all of them.
But that keeps you focused and tapped in, right?
Yeah, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Like that's when it comes to contests, if there's like a lot of them like back to back or something, obviously it's a lot to like, you know, on the body to keep up with it and be there and perform at a high level. But at the end of it, I'm like, every time I skate a contest, I'm just keeping my skills that much more on point.
Yeah.
And as you talk about it, because you're 30, you ain't old, but you know what I'm saying, you getting up there, you talking about on soccer where you're looking at these young kids do it. Like, is there some people out there where you're like, you know, the Leonardo DiCaprio meme where you're watching stuff like, oh, Lord, man, this man's coming to get me.
Oh, yeah, man. It happens all the time these days. And, like, every contest, there's, like, a new kid that's doing some crazy stuff out there. It's wild. There's so many of them now, especially overseas. Like, man, all the Japanese kids are just next level. There's so many of them I can't even count now. There's a new kid out of Korea that's like doing the most technical tricks out there. He's only 16, so it's wild, man. I feel like a lot of people don't realize really how young skateboarding is.
Yeah, it really is. It's a young man's game for sure. But I just remember like hearing about you early on, and there was a lifestyle that was attached to you, right? Obviously, you know, handsome, successful early, and there was ways you can live young away from skating and still come do it and be great.
Yeah.
You've changed that. You know, we met you with Shervine, and obviously we're close to Shahab and Durana over at Symbiotica, and you've changed your diet, you've changed the way you use supplements. How important has that been in you continuing to stay sharp?
Yeah, I definitely give some thanks to him for that, because he kind of really started my whole like health journey. And I'm way more into it these days. Like, I got so many vitamins and supplements that I take every day now, and I'm on top of it. Like, mainly Shervine's products, Symbiotica. But yeah, it's helping me feel good, helping me stay young. Now I'm just saying I'm getting younger, not older.
You know, the other thing about Tony Hawk was I'm a black man that played football. We knew Tony Hawk. We went out and bought the game on the consoles. How important is it for you to continue building a brand, to not only continue to skate well, but to build a brand that there's that name recognition that Nyjah Huston is synonymous with great skateboarding, but skateboarding and skating culture?
Yeah, that's definitely something that's important, and it's something that's actually been in a lot of conversations lately. So there's some good stuff in the works as far as like, you know, different film ideas and contest ideas, throwing my own contest soon here. So I don't want to give it away too much, but there's a lot of good things in the works.
It's the place to give it away, though.
Hey, man, let me hold $5.
No, there's some good stuff in the works for sure.
Nah, man, listen, I know this is a busy time for you, X Games this weekend, bro. We just appreciate you sitting down again. I used to tell Alicia all the time, I was like, if I could have one opportunity to sit with somebody again, I wanted it to be you. I wanted us to be better.
Thank you,
I wanted us to have a better vibe, but also too, man, to celebrate how far you've come, even from the last time we sat down with you, bro. It's awesome to see you continue to grow, you continue to excel, but the world get opportunity to take notice.
Yep. Appreciate you guys.
Man, thank you, fam.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, boys.
Yes, sir.
No doubt. We was in LA stuck on that ooh la la.
Man, my damn back hurts so.
We gotta take a picture.
Damn, you actually got buckled like that?
What's
Damn,
that?
bro.
I tried to roll up smooth.
Yeah, was it right here?
Yep,
Yeah,
right
so
there.
I went down this
shit,
ramp
bro.
and I went to hit that one and that shit
You
slipped
guys,
under my
you guys
damn
film it
feet.
at least?
Yo, we got it. We good?
He's hurting, bro.
I'm hurting for real.
He's
hurting,
hurting. He old.
I'm 42, man.
You know how I feel. You fall at 30, bro.
I don't work out a bit.
Appreciate your time, man.
Yeah, no worries, bros.
Hold up, limitless. Niggas to me, got pinning it. I fought the head to witness it. Got my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling, got me up. On the mission, got me up. Knowing me, I got the key. Only vision I can trust. Limitless. Niggas to me, got pinning it. I fought the head to witness it. Got my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling, got me up. On the mission.